We're given a frequency table here, and we want to turn that into a relative frequency table. An airline offers discounted flights from Atlanta to 5 American cities. Okay, first of all, we need our total. 1182 plus 814 plus 1202 plus 763 plus 321. I'm getting a total of 4,282. So I would divide each one of those in the frequency table by 4282, and then we have to round to 3 decimal places. All right, let's see here. So that you can see 1182 divided by 4282. I'm not going to give that as the answer. Look what happens if I try to give that. Well, it won't let me check yet. But they want that as a decimal, rounded to 3 places. And I came up with 0.2760 something, which would round down to 0.276. Then I'm going to divide the 814 by the same number, 4282, that you could see there for a moment. 0.1900, it's going to round down. 1202 divided by 4282. 0.2807 something, that's going to round up. Chicago 763 divided by 4282. It's 0.1781 something. It's going to round down. .1781, so rounds down to 0.178. And then San Diego 321 divided by 4282. 0.0749, that's going to round up to 0.075. If it weren't for the rounding, these should add up to 1 in a relative frequency table. But I rounded down 3 times and up twice. Luckily, it still adds up to 1. It's a good sign. That doesn't mean I did everything right. I could make 2 mistakes and have them compound each other, but apparently I did it correctly. So what proportion? That's just another way of saying what portion, what proportion. We're for New York, that's the 0.281. So we're just reading off from the table we just filled in. A frequency bar graph. We've got apparently 3 choices. Notice how they've abbreviated Las Vegas, Orlando, New York, Chicago, and San Diego. We should see, because from Las Vegas to Orlando, it went down, but then from Orlando to New York, it went back up. In fact, it goes back up higher than what we had for Las Vegas. That should narrow out choice A. But is it choice B or choice C? Well, then we're going to need to look more closely at the labeling on the vertical axis. And let me enlarge this a little bit. For Orlando, they've got that way down at 400 or below. That should narrow out choice B as well. So let's see if it takes choice C. a relative frequency bar graph should look similar to this, just with different labeling. And so notice that they still go Las Vegas, Orlando, New York, Chicago, and what was our last city here? San Diego. Looks like it should be choice B. Take a close look at that compared to what we had back here. Goes down from Las Vegas to Orlando, back up and even higher. And also notice how New York is just a little bit above 0.2. And we had back here 0.281. As for a pie chart, looking at the table there, we should see Las Vegas and New York as more than a quarter of the pie. Las Vegas is in blue and New York is in green. Now hold up. Look how much bigger in choice A Las Vegas is compared to New York. Quite a bit bigger. That's nearly 0.5. We only had 0.27 there, 0.276. In New York was 0.281. So choice A does not look good. Choice B looks reasonable. Those look both a little bit bigger than a quarter of it. And with the one in green for New York compared to blue for Las Vegas, that does look a little bigger. And finally, a local news broadcast reported that 7.5% of the tickets from the airline are for flights to San Diego. What's wrong with this statement? San Diego, well, if we move that decimal place 2 to the right, we would get 7.5%. However, that was from a sample of 4,282. So they're trying to make a prediction about the population on the basis of a sample. They should give a level of confidence to go along with that estimate.